Hello and welcome to Beards and Bangers. And you may look at the title of this video and wondering, why I'm going to look at another Rover 75. Well, let's have a little head into the video and find out, shall we?
Welcome to Beards and Bangers.
So you may be asking yourself, why is this hairy lemon showing us another Rover 75 or a car based on the Rover R40 platform? Well, Rover 75s came in more than one variant. You obviously had the Club, the Contemporary and the Connoisseur, and then you had a variety of engine options throughout the time. So you had the 1.8 naturally aspirated K series, you had the 1.8 turbo which replaced the 2-litre KV6, you had the 2.5-litre KV6, and of course you had the diesel engine in two variants. So that's why today I want to show you a different variant, which is the a Club SE 1.8 naturally aspirated, putting out about 118 brake horsepower. So that's what we're going to do today. So let's refresh our memories about the history of the Rover 75. So it's what's called the Rover R40 platform. So that's the Rover 75 and the MG ZT. Now, as you may remember, or you may not know, but BMW actually owned Rover Group for 6 years, from 1994 through till 2000. And Rover had the aging Rover 600, which was basically a Honda Accord. And Rover Group's original intention was to actually reskin the 600. BMW didn't want a Honda essentially being reskinned, so they insisted upon a new design. Richard Woolley designed the platform, and that's where the R40 platform came from. So for the first year of production, which was 1998, the Rover 75s were made in Cowley in Oxford, and then in 99 that moved up to Longbridge, because by that stage BMW had basically stripped Rover Group of the Mini brand and started building the Mini R50 as we now know it in Cowley.
All right.
Hello. So in its early form, you had three engine variants on the Rover 75. You had the 1.8 K series, you had the 2-litre KV6 and the 2.5-litre KV6. It was a little bit later on when company car tax rules started getting a bit tighter and people were conscious of how much company car tax they were paying, that Rover dropped the 2-litre KV6 and brought in the 1.8 turbo, soft turbo, to avoid emissions being too high. So that's a little bit of history about the sort of the engines and the development, very potted history about the development of the Rover 75. But today I want to look at this 1.8 Club SE. It's naturally aspirated, so we're going to have a look around the car. Obviously we're not going to go into massive detail because you've seen my previous videos on the ZT and the 75s, but we'll have a look around it, and then we'll jump in and give it a drive. So let's crack on. Yeah, so this is a particularly nice example. It's in I think this is Nightfire Red, but I'm probably got that wrong. I get a bit confused about all these different colours. So it's pre-facelift, it's an 03, so what's that? Early 2003. And yeah, we've got the pre-face, we've got the quad headlights at the front. I'm just going to pause while someone drives past, and some very multicoloured people are walking past. We won't get them in. But yeah, so this is the quad headlamps, which I think are very, very attractive, with the lovely grille. We've got decent alloy wheels. God blimey, it's got some mud on it just coming over here this morning, so it's easily done. But yeah, this lovely look that the Rover 75 has. And in an age when the saloon car is really going out of fashion, everything is SUV these days, isn't it? I still say the Rover 75 looks as fresh today as it did when it rolled out of the factory in 1998. I just think they're such lovely cars, typical of the era. Jaguar S-Type, Jaguar X-Type. It was just a particularly good time, I think, for the British car manufacturing segment. God, British car manufacturing, what a word that is. So yeah, let's have a little look at under the bonnet and in the boot, and then we'll clamber inside and just have a quick refresh as to what we can expect inside a 75. So viewers of my channel will find the layout of the engine bay a familiar sight. The only thing that's different is we've got the 1.8 K series engine in this car. Now we'll find out how it drives in a minute, but K series are tremendous little power units, revvy, flexible, and it doesn't matter which one you get. The 1.1 through to the 1.8, they're all revvy units with a really nice note. Yes, they have their detractors. People say they're rubbish engines. They're not. They're great motors. Rover just skimped, especially in the latter stages, on the head gasket and the dowels, and you know, they can be changed really easily. But if you look after these engines, like all engines, they are tremendous units. So yeah, usual. Now obviously we've got our engine here, non-VVC, so we've just got the standard injection, the standard throttle body here. We've got our expansion tank, air cleaner, battery, our air conditioning gubbins here, and then behind the scuttle panel we've got our brake fluid reservoir, screen wash down here. So yeah, if any of you know Rover 75s, MGZTs, really straightforward layout indeed. We actually get a good view of the exhaust, so it's quite a nice stock exhaust manifold on these, not a restrictive one, and we can see the cat down there and the pre-cat lambda sensor, so yeah, quite a nice view on this one. And we've got our lovely capacious boot with a full size, no, it's space saver spare with the toolkit, couple of spare bulbs. Let's have a little feel around. It's dry, means the headlight seals are okay. So let's have a little look. Yeah, so this is a project drive car. We can post project drive, we can tell, like, we haven't got plastic covers on the back of the headlights. But yeah, decent boot in these. Obviously got a high load lip because it is a saloon, but yeah, really decent sized boot. Easily get your suitcases and golf clubs in there, no problem. So my favourite car magazine is Practical Classics. Now they would probably refer to this car as the poverty spec, but it's a Rover 75, so there was no such thing. Even in the basic engine form, these are actually pretty plush inside. So let's jump in and have a look in the interior. So let's clamber inside and have a little look. Oh yes, very comfortable. Yeah, so a nice solid door, and of course I pointed out before, I love this feature where the dash curves round and then blends into the door shuts really nicely, really attractive. It's a Rover. We've got a wood effect dashboard. This is a post project drive car, so we've got the actual badge there rather than a print on the veneer. So it is a fake wood dashboard, but nonetheless it does look lovely. We've got our lovely analog clock, our lovely cream dials, which I just love in these. We've got a gramophone, we've got a radio cassette, we've got air conditioning, we've got climate control, we've got a very nicely sprung cup holder. Has it got an extra one? No. We've got a cigar lighter, not a cigarette lighter, it's a Rover, so it's a cigar lighter. We've got our ashtray down here, very nice. And this is a 5-speed manual, so this wears the Getrag gearbox. So obviously my ZTs have got a manual transmission. The ZT190's got a Getrag gearbox. Different knob, very ergonomic knob in this. But yeah, very nice in the hand. It's a particularly nice gear knob in this. Got our centre armrest with a little tray for our cassettes. We've got our glove box. Our very spaceship-like light cluster up here. We are cloth seats, but they are so comfortable. It's a Rover. It's really comfy. I could fall asleep in here. We've got our lovely little cup holders in the back as well. But yeah, it's actually a bit too light to put the lights on. I tell you what, no, let's do it. Live dangerously, eh? Yeah, so we've got our lovely orange glow. The heater is really good, unlike my 190, so there's obviously not a clog in the matrix on this one. But But yeah, front and rear fog lights. It's just typical Rover 75 loveliness. And if we spin round, this is a miracle. We have got a decent headliner, which is rare. I don't know if it's been done or not, but it's yeah, in really good condition. The other thing to point out on this car is it is super low miles. 59,867. So what's that? What are we? 03. So it's a 20-year-old car, and we've got really low mileage. So yeah, it's quite a rare car, because the 1.8s aren't as popular. But I think we should stop talking and start driving. Right, so we're going to take it out for a drive. I'm really keen to actually drive all the different R40 variants. So I've driven a V8, albeit briefly, so the 4.6 litre. Of course, I own a 2.5, and I took my friend Dan's 2.5s out a few months ago. So I had the three I haven't driven are the 2 litre KV6, the 1.8 turbo. So if anyone's got a 1.8 turbo, I'd love to drive one of those. If I see one on eBay, I might, you know. And number 3, the 1.8 naturally aspirated. So I'm going to take it for a drive and see how it performs. First thing I notice is it's really quiet. It's not, some K series engines can end up being a bit rattly, a bit top endy, but this is a lovely quiet unit. I'm just going to turn the climate control off, actually, so we can hear properly. But it's I'm just pootling around, obviously. Haven't given it any revs yet, but I will do that in a minute. But it's, yeah, just really quiet, smooth engine. I've driven this before I started shooting, so I haven't started it from cold, but it's holding its temperature. So no, you know, this myth with K series, it's wrong. K series are good units, and you'll see why in a minute when I get it onto an open road. Yeah, it's lovely and quiet. I'm on pretty bad roads. The roads are quite rough at the moment around here. I think they're pretty rough all over the country. But even, you know, this is a Rover 75. The suspension is really good. I'm just pulling away a bit now. It's actually picking up beautifully. I think the difference in power. So these are 118 brake horsepower with a 0 to 60 time of about 11 seconds, which is actually pretty respectable. Naturally aspirated 1.8 litre engine in a 2-ton car, that's pretty good going. And the difference between the 1.8 naturally aspirated and the 1.8 turbo, it's actually less than 2 seconds difference on the 0 to 60. So it's this 1.8 unit is quite adequate. So I'm not going too mad on the speed, because we are on country roads, but it's holding them beautifully. I know if I was in the BRM especially, my bones would be getting shaken, but on this very uneven surface, the 75 suspension just takes the bumps, lumps and contours well within its stride, and the person coming towards it really needs to drive on their side of the road. Goodness gracious. I shan't rant, because I'm having a great time driving this car today. But just because this is the lowest powered of the petrol 75s doesn't take anything away from it. It's still a usable, daily driving modern classic, and it's absolutely lovely. Really quiet indicator noise, but it's there, so it's reassuring. And that's not a slouchy car. I had a courtesy Citroen C3 a few months ago, and that was the slowest modern. It was a brand new car. It was the slowest modern car I've driven. It was unbelievably slow. I didn't do a video on it because I just really didn't want to. But this is nice. I'm on a slightly smoother road now, and yeah, it's a bit more wallowy than a ZT, but cool. It's just so comfy. And this engine, K-series engines are just so free revving. They really are revvy, lovely little units. And I've had 3-4 K-series powered cars. The BRM being my current one. And they are in all guises revvy cars. The Rover 25 I had for a bit last year, that was the 1.4. It's still a great unit. They're so much fun. Well, let's drive it a bit harder. That's picking up beautifully. It's slowed right down to 20. I'm up at 50 already, and that's really nice. So yeah, this car's got a couple of blips and a couple of bits that need doing here and there, but for a 20-year-old car, it's doing really well, and it's low mileage. Everything's in good order. Aside from a couple of bits, and this would make someone quite a nice car. Now, the reason I mention that is because it is for sale. And it's a mate of mine selling it. So if you do want to, if you're interested in buying it, I think he's looking for around 1,400 quid, which I think is a really good price. But just get in touch with me. Either drop me a comment down below, or please get in touch by my Facebook page or Instagram page. They, funnily enough, are called the same name as my channel. They're both called Beards and Bangers. So I've now got YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. I'm getting really modern. Down with the kids. Oh, it's just typical K-series. Get it to about 4,000 RPM, and it just really pulls. This is not a slouch, this car, one little bit. Really impressed, actually. Yes, there's still been a bit of a challenge for me to bring out content, which is really frustrating. I'm going to have another couple of videos coming out fairly soon, one on the 216 and one on the Great Wiper debate. But yeah, hoping that things will settle down with work a bit and I have a bit more spare time. Well, not spare time, it's having time where I actually feel motivated enough to do stuff rather than being slouched out on a sofa. So yeah, got some exciting plans. Getting a bit of speed up now, so we'll just let you enjoy that without me waffling. And I'm up at the national speed limit without any effort at all. This is really impressive car. Did I have this as a company car choice back in the day? I don't know. Don't know if I did. But it's, yeah, pulling along really nicely. It's quiet. That's the thing with these 75s, is they are quiet. Even with the 2.5 litre noisy, probably the noisiest engine of the lot. They're just such quiet, comfortable motors. I absolutely love them. I love an R40. Let's start calling them by that name as well to describe the platform. We talk about R8s and R3s and ST1s and P6s, but we don't talk about the R40 platform enough. So yeah, I just love my R40s, as you may have deduced by now. So I'm right in your face now. Yeah, so thank you for watching this Rover 75 based episode of Beards and Bangers. I do love doing videos on Rover 75s. If anyone's got a 1.8 turbo 75 or an MGZT turbo 1.8, please get in touch, because I would love to do a review on one of those. If anyone's selling a Rover, an MGZT 1.8 turbo, yeah, anyway. So next episodes of Beards and Bangers, we'll be doing some work to the 216. I'll be telling you about a car that I'm looking at buying and what happened with that. And then after that, we'll be doing continuing the great wiper masturbate with Kittenface. So I'll be using Kittenface for that very purpose. Now, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to share. It's greatly appreciated. I'm looking forward to starting doing live streams really soon on YouTube. I don't think that means urinating live on YouTube, but I'll do some research before I go that far. Yeah, please continue to support the channel, really appreciate it. And don't forget, if you're interested in this car that I'm driving right now, do get in touch through one of the social media outlets that are readily available to most of you. Take care for now. Goodbye.